Welcome back here on Morning Kickaround. It is Friday, July 18th. My name is Robert. He's Mitch. Jason Davis coming back next week. But for our final segment of the week, we learned this week that one Mr. Snoop Dogg is joining the ownership group for Swansea City. So one final swan song for old Snoop, it would seem. But leads me to the question, when will the celebrity soccer ownership fad finally jump the shark? Like, who would be the guy so zany and out of left field that it just ends it all? I've left you speechless. I put you on the spot, Mr. Gatsky, because I mean Snoop's pretty close, right?
Snoop is definitely close because, I mean, as big a sports fan as he is, we see him kind of pop up. He's been at NHL All-Star games before. You wouldn't think that that's really something that he'd be too locked in on, but it does beg the question, how did he hear about Swansea City? How did he make the decision to get involved? It is kind of a continuation of a thread that we've seen play out over the last few years. Obviously, everybody's familiar with the Wrexham story, and I think that's kind of paved the way for others to give this a shout. And Snoop Dogg, just the latest example. I'm excited though. Like, why not? Why not just lean in, have some fun? Like, is he really going to be making football related decisions? Almost certainly not. Luka Modric also involved in this ownership group, so I would kind of expect him to be more so involved in day-to-day operations. Snoop just kind of feels like somebody who's putting some money up and he's going to generate a little buzz. He's definitely going to bring in some additional eyeballs that wouldn't have otherwise been locked in on Swansea City. But yeah, again, it kind of, it makes you wonder why Swansea, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to think about, though, that celebrity who's going to finally be the last domino to fall before this fad kind of ceases to exist.
We're getting a couple good ones in the chat there, but Snoop's involvement is connected to the American businessmen that took over Swansea in the fall. Brett Crevette and Jason Cohen, like you said, bringing in Luka Modric, and now Snoop D-O-double-G. You got to say he is close to the jump in the shark line. And to your point, it is fun. Snoop, one of the rare people that could be overexposed but hasn't played himself out just yet. Like, he is in just about every corner of entertainment, from he's doing stuff with Martha Stewart, he's involved in sports, he's still doing music. Like, he's borderline Shaq, where he can be just like almost everywhere at once. And I'm sure people have gotten tired of Shaq over the years, but more people than not have a positive view of these guys, and they are truly everywhere. In the chat, this one actually made me laugh inside my head. Maybe if Haktua Girl got involved in buying a soccer team, I think that could be a jumping the shark moment. Another one from Mr. Hunt, Trump getting involved, buying a team could do it. And Crispy Dewey, I like this one, Carrot Top. If Carrot Top bought...
I haven't heard of Carrot Top in ages. What's he up to? Maybe that is his next move.
Yeah, what would be the team that Carrot Top would be interested in? Like, would it be just a zany off the wall? Like, he can't just be like, oh, I'll be a minority shareholder in like Man City or something. This would have to be like Scunthorpe United or something like that, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a team. Obviously, that they have to wear orange, so I don't know. It's not a perfect fit, I guess, but the first one that comes to mind is like Newport County. Is that kind of orangey-ish color?
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I speaking of which, it's funny that you said orange, because I was thinking Blackpool. Blackpool is a team that rocks orange like that, and they did have one season. Random note: That Blackpool year, I think it was like 2011 or so when they had the one season in the Premier League. That was pretty fun. They scored a lot of goals. They had a lot of like random English dudes that could just like rocket shot it, but terrible at defending and goalkeeping, I recall. But a fun one and done in Blackpool. A suggestion for a Carrot Top team, Dundee United. Are they a red team? I'm not as super sharp on my Scottish teams to think about that. But here's something that makes me think that Snoop is right in the line of jumping the shark for celebrity sports ownership. Is here's his quote on why Swansea. The story of the I don't know. I'm not going to attempt a Snoop voice. The story of the and the area really struck a chord with me. This is a proud working class city and club, an underdog that bites back, just like me. I'm proud to be part of Swansea City. I mean,
Okay.
you can buy those.
I don't dislike that. You know, at least he has a solid reason. It's not random. I doubt that he actually visited the area, but I'm excited for that first game where he is on location in the owner's box, kind of pumping up the crowd. I'm sure they'll bring him onto the field. But I also wonder, the supporters of Swansea City, they have to be at least vaguely familiar with Snoop's work, but is this something that excites them, or are they the type who, you know, are they raised eyebrows? Are they suspicious? Do they like this? And that kind of goes to the overall trend. You know, if you've watched any of Welcome to Wrexham, you know, there was a high amount of skepticism of, you know, what do these American folks, these celebrities know about football over here in Britain? And yeah, I am kind of I feel a little guilty, but I'm fascinated by how this is going to turn out, I have to say.
Well, a lot of this stems from the ownership group being able to do something like this in their press release. They are able to say this announcement comes as this is the next episode for Swansea City. And, you know, they can just have pun addled press releases and everyone likes it because, you know, everyone really likes Snoop. I'm going to add into the chat for Jumping the Shark. It is not news. The purchase isn't new, but it is the fact that there is a new documentary show coming out about Kelly Ripa and her husband. So I think she's like a morning. She used to be on the morning talk show, or she's still on the morning talk show, but it used to be Regis and Kelly, whatever the delineation of that show with Regis Philbin. But Kelly Ripa and her husband, Mark Consuelos, are co-owners of soccer team Campobasso FC. And they're coming out with a 4-part ESPN docuseries called Running with the Wolves. So a American daytime TV presenter owning a soccer team could be jumping the shark territory.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm a big fan of Kelly's work. You know, I've seen the show, but I am not a regular consumer of her content, and I have not heard of the club that she's now involved with. But hey, we'll see if the documentary kind of brings in a new audience. And that's the thing. Like, is this becoming templated where we're just going to keep repeating the same sort of moves that we've seen elsewhere? You know, hey, we're going to take over this lower level club across the pond. We're going to make a documentary series about it and try to bring in people that way rather than actual competition on the field. Again, I would be curious to see, you know, to get the pulse of the actual supporters of the club that have been around and what they think about it. I would have to imagine they're not huge fans, but the other side of the token is, you know, if it increases the profile, if it brings in a flood of cash and they can level themselves up, then it's one of those things, you know, it's you never want to sell your soul, but you also want to see your club succeed. So it's tough to kind of reconcile those two things at the same time.
So some of the folks, celebrities owning soccer teams overseas, JJ Watt, one of the owners of Burnley. Michael B. Jordan, the actor, part owner in Bournemouth. LeBron directly or indirectly through Fenway Sports owning Liverpool. Of course, Tom Brady with Birmingham City. Reynolds and McElhenney at Wrexham. And then domestically, Will Ferrell and many other celebrities in LAFC, and Natalie Portman, Serena Williams, and many other female celebrities owning Angel City FC. And then in the morning kick around chat, we got Jack Harlow, which I didn't know, having a share in Louisville City. Some Bernardo believing that if we had pro-rel celebrity investments would come more this side. And this speaks on our last segment and this segment, Soccer Night in Detroit. Thank you for this one. Kid Rock reviving Michigan Stars for Nisa. And he hits the nail on the head here, as that would be pretty wild if Kid Rock got involved in soccer. And yes, he's from Romeo, which is half an hour north into the rolling flatlands of Romeo, which is where Mr. Rock is from. And we're getting some shouts here. Tim Weah has a stake in Brooklyn FC and Chris Richards in Birmingham. So there are quite a few ones, and those ones making a little bit more sense than the Kelly Rippers and the Snoop Doggs. But I mean, I guess in general, like you said, pique some curiosity, spark some conversation. And I mean, I guess while you wouldn't have necessarily paired Snoop Dogg with a Welsh team in the English soccer system, I mean, I guess that's more exciting than people abandoning their a fandom or American interest in soccer, I guess, if we're looking for silver linings.
Right. Yeah, I would agree with that. I agree with Bernardo that Pro-Rel has kind of opened these celebrities' eyes to, hey, this is an investment opportunity to where we can scale this up and start to compound, that investment and really see some large returns. Bringing that to the States would kind of open those doors up as well, instead of the closed system. And I do want to say JJ Watt has really leaned into what he's doing with Burnley. And I think he's kind of maybe not the best example, but as far as I know, he's done a really good job of admitting, hey, I may not know soccer inside and out, but I've played sports at the highest level. I am willing to learn. And he has quickly gotten himself to a level where he can talk about the game. And he's also understanding that, hey, I'm going to leave the football to the football people and, just sort of help out where I can. Heard some interviews with him, and I think he is approaching it in the right way to be involved, but not overbearing.
Yeah. It's good to have the passion and impart the passion on the team without really getting into the weeds with the operations on the sporting side, I think. And there we go. We'll end the topic with one Mr. Snoop Dogg rocking the brand new Swansea City kit there. Thank you, everyone, for their contributions. Some great stuff in the chat today, as always. Thank you so much. I'm still going to have a chuckle probably for a while today about Kid Rock with some grand announcement at Romeo High School announcing the revival of the Michigan Stars. That would be quite the thing to add to the Michigan soccer or American soccer is weird conversation. But if you're watching this now and you haven't hit subscribe, be one of the nearly 3,000 folks who have done so already. It doesn't cost you a darn thing, helps us out tremendously. Did I tell you before I did this show, I was one of those who just watched things for years and never hit the button? Don't be like me. Hit the button. Doesn't cost you a thing and helps out the creators quite a bit. If you want to take your support up a notch, $3.99 a month, you become an MK Ultra. Get priority commenting on these live shows. You get access to the Discord server where the conversation continues, from a local summer soccer chat to MLS, USL Pro Rel, and even talking some Premier League and global stuff as well. Really enjoyed the addition of that. And you can also support on coffee.com/morningkickaround. There we have some specific fundraising goals outside of the YouTube hemisphere. And then follow along on social media at mkickaround on X, Instagram, and Blue Sky, trying to get as much of our content up there as possible, and appreciate those follows starting to add up on the social media platforms. Mitch, you've been so gracious with your time both today and on Wednesday. You do a couple of things yourself. You used to work for DCFC. You're now on the west side of the state, but you also do some writing yourself a little bit of there. Before we're done for the week, why don't you talk about some of the stuff you do?
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Great Gatzke, Gatzke. Appreciate you guys letting me step in for Jason here this week. Don't worry, I'm not around permanently. He will be back on Monday, so you won't have to put up with me any longer. Rob, really do appreciate the invite. And yeah, everybody tune into ESPN2 tonight. I won't plug myself, but I will plug DCFC on ESPN2. That's a big thing. And if you are not familiar with the atmosphere at Keyworth Stadium, I promise you will come away impressed, because those guys bring it. And I can only imagine they're going to do so times 2 here on a Friday night in prime time on national TV. Thanks again, Rob. This has been a treat. And yeah, anytime Jason is on assignment, more than willing to offer up my services.
Well, thank you very much, Mitch. And thank you once again, viewer, and everyone who supports the program. We will be back live on Monday morning. But until then, everybody, enjoy your soccer.